Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again. And on today's episode, I have a story for you here today that is an absolute classic, okay? This is the classic, I'm going to accuse the man of cheating, but actually I'm going to go out there and I'm going to cheat myself. So here we have a wife who falsely accused her husband of cheating. And then after they got divorced, she got married very soon after. Highly suspicious, wouldn't you say? So guys, let's jump into this one. Wife falsely accused me of cheating and got married 3 months after our divorce. After years of marriage, a man found himself betrayed not just by his wife, but by his own family, when his wife falsely accused him of cheating and manipulated his parents into taking her side. His entire world came crashing down. So we've all heard this before, okay? This is the stereotypical story that happens to a lot of guys where your woman accuses you of something that she's doing, the relationship ends, and then she lies about you to everybody else. Okay, this happens in marriages, this happens in regular relationships, this happens all of the damn time. So let's jump into this story here. Liam, 42 years of age, once believed that he had found the perfect partner in Jessica. Their relationship started as an unlikely friendship first. Jessica had initially turned him down after a blind date, claiming she didn't feel the same way. But as time passed, she began to warm up to him, and eventually they fell into a relationship that led to marriage. Okay, let's talk about this for a second, right? So this woman, guys, please understand that if a woman initially turns you down, she's not interested. Any woman that has to warm up to liking you, okay, never liked you in the first place. I really strongly dislike this idea that men need to prove themselves over time to a woman, because let's be real about it, okay? The men who the women really want, do you really think that she needs to warm up to them? You know, when this woman meets a Chad out there in the wild, okay, a highly attractive man, when any woman for that matter goes out there and meets a highly attractive man who she really genuinely wants, genuinely really wants to get a relationship out of him, do you ultimately think that that woman has to warm up to him? I don't think so. I think that if the man is attractive enough, if she's into him, she will absolutely try and push for a relationship, as long as she doesn't think she's going to get thrown out in the process usually. So let's continue here. That's always great, guys. You know, your wife has to warm up to you before you get into a relationship. She initially turns you down. Great start there, but nevertheless, the guy thinks it's a good idea to marry her for whatever reason. Looking back, Liam now sees the warning signs he once ignored. Jessica was always drawn to luxury, had an aversion to compromise, and took pride in controlling every aspect of their life together. He brushed these off, believing love was enough to smooth over their differences. See, this is the problem that I have with dudes, right? Is men will just overlook clear problems that the women display to them, right? They'll think, oh, it's fine, you know, she's pretty, or oh, it's fine, she seems nice enough, I can put up with XYZ. But the problem is, these are very serious problems. An aversion to compromise, so she's headstrong, doesn't want to hear your side of anything, refuses to let you lead, okay? Any woman who doesn't want you to lead, by the way, or who doesn't respect your leadership, it'll eventually dissipate anyway, right? The relationship will go away. She's very controlling. She's drawn to luxury. These are very negative qualities to have in a significant other, much less a wife. And this is the type of individual that will divorce you and try and take half of your crap. Let's keep going. Their marriage had its challenges, but Liam remained committed. That is, until the accusations began. Jessica started making these subtle comments about me staying late at work, Liam recalled. She'd joke about lipstick on my collar when there was nothing there. I thought she was just being playful at first, but it got worse. Soon, Jessica escalated. She began telling Liam's parents that she suspected him of having an affair. She fed them stories about mysterious late-night calls and how he was always on his phone, apparently. I had no idea what was happening behind my back, By the time I caught on, my own parents had already turned against me. I love how people do this, by the way, right? This is pretty damn normal in society. It's becoming less and less so, right? As more people wake up to this nonsense, but it's still a huge problem. You'll have women who go out there and they will lie about people. They'll lie about men. They'll lie about other women. And rather than verify this, people just believe women simply because they're women. It's actually amazing, guys, how many lies that women will tell, and then people will just believe them without verifying it themselves whatsoever. And this is crazy because this is also this man's parents, right? His parents didn't contact him and go, hey, listen, she said this. Is this true? No, they just immediately turned against him. I think that's absolutely insane. These people who just believe anything that women say are actually incredibly dangerous, in my opinion. You can't have these people as friends. Really sucks that he got them as parents, to be honest with you. So Liam discovered that Jessica had been manipulating his parents for months. She painted herself as the victim of my supposed infidelity. She'd call his mother crying, saying that she didn't know what to do. This woman is clinically bonkers, man. Clinically insane. Calling your significant other's parents crying, saying that you're cheating. This is code for she's cheating. This is what this really means. His mother, who had always been traditional, immediately took Jessica's side. His father followed suit. When Liam confronted Jessica, she twisted the narrative. She told me she knew I was cheating, that I might as well admit it. When I demanded proof, she had none. That's when I knew that something wasn't right. Yeah, so she's cheating. The accusations turned into demands for a divorce. Jessica made sure everyone in their social circle believed her version of events. Again, this is something that happens to men all of the time, is women will initiate these divorces or these breakups and then paint the man as the bad person in these situations so that they can walk out appearing better than they actually were. It's actually crazy. It's so insane how this is orchestrated. Men don't really understand this until it happens to them, usually. And because this isn't something that crosses men's mind. This isn't a behavior that men naturally do. I think women are really good at this crap, guys. Like, women and manipulation just absolutely go hand in hand. They are very talented at it, I will say. I will say also men, very untalented at it in comparison. So he said, I lost everything. She'd made me out to be the bad guy. My parents stopped talking to me. Friends who had known me for years took her side. I had no one. What hurt even more was what came next. 3 months after the divorce was finalized, Jessica announced her engagement to another dude, her supposed friend from work. That's when it all made sense. She had been setting me up so that she could walk away clean. I swear, guys, it is always the dudes from work. It's either some work friend or some dude who is like a customer at work, right? Every single time. Well, not every single time, but this is incredibly common, guys, that women will have essentially work boyfriends, and they will try and line up these men after their marriages end. And a lot of the time, when they leave, they will try to take the man's resources. And unfortunately, in a lot of those instances, the courts actually side with the women. It's completely disgusting. And the dude ends up getting cleaned. You know, his social life is a complete mess. It takes him years to rebuild and so on. And that is a situation, by the way, where I'm not even mentioning children, which is a whole nother issue. So despite the heartbreak, Liam refused to let Jessica's lies get to him. I went no contact with my parents. I had spent my whole life trying to make them proud, and they threw me away for someone who lied to them. With therapy and time, he started rebuilding. He got a new job, went to a new city, and got a new perspective. This guy literally had to travel to a new city to get away from this nonsense, by the way. Then fate surprised him. He met Olivia, someone who reminded him what a real supportive relationship looked like. I told her everything up front. I was scared she'd run, but instead she listened. For the first time in years, I felt truly understood. Watch this just happen to this guy again, by the way. A lot of the dudes who are in these situations, man, they are incredibly blind to red flags. And this is why it happens to them over and over again, is because they lack boundaries, they lack self-respect, and they lack understanding of what these kinds of people can do, right? Like this dude, when he first met the woman who just did all this crap to him, he completely ignored the red flags, and he's so excited about the next relationship that he's getting into. But unfortunately, it usually takes a few times for these men to actually learn right? They have to go through pain over and over again before they learn to weed out people who are quite frankly terrible. So trusting this guy's judgment is not something that I would be inclined to do. Years later, Liam's parents tried to reconnect, as they always do. They reached out when Jessica's new marriage fell apart. Turns out she had cheated on her new husband, just like she accused me of doing. But by then, Liam had moved on. I told them I wasn't interested in fixing things, and they made their choice. Looking back, he didn't regret it. He learned the hard way that trust is everything. If someone is eager to believe the worst about you, they don't deserve a place in your life. Now he's engaged to Olivia, expecting his first kid. Liam has finally found happiness, right? So that's good. What he did was he essentially just cut them all out, which I think is the correct move to do. And this is the danger, by the way. Like, these stories are a really good example of the danger of ignoring red flags in people, particularly if you're a dude who's willing to risk everything to go out there and get married, because that's what marriage is. It represents a risk to men. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's story there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.